Hello tarot friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Balsamic Moon Tarot and I'm here with a pick a card reading. Today we are going to ask our guides about abundance and what is the abundance coming our way? How can we recognize it? What should we look out for? Okay, so this is going to be a timeless reading. Whenever you get this video, it will apply to you in the coming few weeks, okay? So a near-term reading. Let's go ahead and select the cards for each pile. This is pile 1. Pile 2. You know what? Pile 3. Yep. Okay, pile 1, your card is Bloom Like a Badass. I just have to laugh because this card has been coming up multiple times recently, and if you have seen a previous reading of mine that had this card, then I think this is a sign that pile 1 is for you, but that's not a requirement. If you're just drawn to this card in this moment, then this is also the reading for you. Bloom Like a Badass. For pile 2, we have Celebrate the Little Things. So cute. Little mouse and a cupcake. Perhaps you've celebrated a birthday recently, so this could be your reading. And for pile 3, we have Protect Your Boundaries. Okay. Protect your boundaries. If you care about the numbers, the pile 1, the number here is 5. Pile 2, the number is 43. And pile 3, the number is 39 for those oracle cards. Okay, so feel free to skip ahead to the timestamp for your reading. The timestamps are in the description box below. See you there. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. You selected the card Bloom Like a Badass, which shows this lotus flower. Really pretty, serene card. I feel like you are in a moment right now where you're feeling very much in balance. You're feeling very pleased with your results. Equilibrium is one word I'm getting. Contentment, just feeling at ease and feeling very satisfied is what I'm getting here. So it's not necessarily that you have a ton of wealth, but you feel very happy and balanced with what you have in your life. So let's get started. I'm going to start with some oracle cards, and then I already have your tarot cards shuffled and selected. So let's ask, what is the abundance coming your way? What is the abundance coming your way in the near future, the next couple weeks? Okay, how about one more? Alrighty. Pile 1. We have the Elephant card. Wow. This card, it's interesting. This card has also been coming up in readings recently. So I think that, you know, first of all, you are tapped into something, some like collective energy current. It's like almost like you're tapped into the way forward, the momentum forward, and that's one reason why you're in a good place right now. You feel good, is that you feel like there's progress and there's movement forward in your life that is serving the greater good too. It's like you really see yourself in the bigger picture, and you really feel secure in your role and how you can contribute to the world or your community or the bigger picture. Okay, so we have the Elephant, we have Mother, whoa, another repeating card, Home, okay, and Potential. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting a very maternal energy here. especially with the elephant, this is like the matriarch. This is about having a memory, being tapped into the collective memory, and that is one of your deepest, richest resources is your memory. It's like traditions, right? It's memories of the family, memories handed down from the family lore, the family stories. Okay, so if this is a very personal reading, I feel like there's abundance in your life that's very much connected to the family and like your personal relationships, especially long-term relationships, and also the abundance of having that connection to your family of origin, your heritage, your lineage, home. Okay, mother and home and potential, really interesting combination here. So I am seeing abundance in relation to an inheritance as well. That's like another emphasis on that, something being handed down to you, perhaps from the maternal side. But even more generally, it's about just feeling connected, feeling protected by the mother, right? Um, feeling protected by the earth, feeling protected by the divine mother, the divine feminine. And with potential, you understand that this is just kind of only the beginning for you. Like you're on this journey and you're kind of swept up in this path and this energy current, and you understand that this is the beginning of the journey. Like, I think you're seeing your growth potential very clearly now. It's almost like you've gotten very clear feedback from a mother figure or a parental figure, of someone with authority who's also very sensitive, very understanding, and very tuned into you. They're very attuned. And so it's like you feel seen by this person or this bigger, this bigger energy. So this could be a physical person. This could also be like a spiritual guide. Like you feel seen and heard, and you feel like you're taken under their wing. Yes, that's exactly it. You feel like you've been taken under someone's wing, and now you're part of this bigger picture, and you have a very clear, secure role. You have a clear, secure position. So that's a wonderful feeling, and I can see how that is this feeling of abundance of, there's abundance of purpose. There's abundance of education. Like you're going to be reared in this great environment. You're going to be reared or rising up through these ranks of a company or an organization that you really believe in, you respect it. Like that's what I feel like. So again, take it under someone's wing, right? So, another thing, you could be getting a grant, you could be getting a scholarship, a residency. Okay, so if you're like an artist or if you're a student, you could be getting a grant that you applied for, that makes you feel more secure in your given track, your training, your curriculum. Like it's having that support for the path you've taken to take on a bigger role, bigger meaning in your life. Okay, so that could be higher education and being a student. It could also be like in career. It could be getting a grant or just getting the funding for this project that is taking your career to the next level. Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, bloom like a badass. It's, there's a certain piece, because I think you feel like you've done the work that's not just in real life, but also the work of manifestation, work of setting your intentions, and having this this trust in the process. Like you've bloom like a badass. Like you've had faith that this would happen, and so now the divine timing is showing up for you, which is great. Let's go ahead and take a look at your tarot cards. Let me see. Let me make sure there's room here. Okay, we have the King of Cups. Wow. Yeah, so if you are an artist, you have an artistic practice that needed a grant, that's definitely validation. King of Cups is the artist, is the creative, also the healer. So this could be a healing practice that you've taken on. Okay, we have the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Temperance, and the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands showing up under this King of Cups. Very cool. We have the Death card. Okay. I do not have room for the rest of these cards, so what I'm going to do is read this as the second part of the message, and then I will place down some more cards. So, the abundance coming your way. Yeah, you know, again, this is support in the form of a people, or in the form of individuals, or a group of people who are, again, taking you under their wing. And the Two of Swords with the Three of Swords and the Temperance, okay? There's a person who's showing up here with this Queen of Wands energy. There's a person who is very, like, very inspirational, and you're inspired by them, but you also see how they inspire others. They really have, like, maybe a platform or an audience. Like, they are someone who does their work in the public eye in some way, and I feel like you are in their orbit. Like it may not be so much a personal connection, but it's the fact that they're showing up at this time that feels like it's great timing. Because what I'm seeing is that they help steer you away from a tendency that you've had in the past. They're helping to steer you away from that negative tendency. I feel like you've had a tendency in the past to get stuck in indecision and then blame yourself, like get too hard on yourself because, you know, you didn't make the right decision. It's like you've been in the past very fixated on thinking like, I didn't make the right decision, I didn't make the best decision, like I should have made a better decision. Like something, I feel like there's a decision in the past that keeps kind of coming back to haunt you. But there's a person here, and again, this may not be a personal connection. This could be like maybe a book you read by an author, or, you know, you come across their website, you come across their social media. Maybe you even just watch a film about them, like a documentary, and there's someone who's really inspiring you, and what they're teaching, what their message is helping you to really heal this old wound that has gotten you fixated on like making the wrong decision, quote unquote. So it's healing this side of you, or rather it's healing this wound that has had trouble healing. You've had trouble getting over it up until now. And now this perspective that this person offers, this message, it's helping you to move on from that. It's helping you to close the door on that old self who would, you know, be very rueful, very remorseful. You're closing the door on that. You're putting that behind you now, and you're ready to be kind of reborn into this new person who is, you know, who's no longer haunted by that guilt or that regret or simply that sense of inferiority, you know. Now, I see you as this King of Cups, so I see you as someone who is very protective and nurturing of others, and yet you do it in this way that is not necessarily like maternal, you know. It's not necessarily like I don't know, that's I think I'll just leave it at that. It's, you know, this is why like artists could be considered the King of Cups, because they take their feelings and instead of just letting those feelings be processed internally, they put those feelings on the canvas. They put the feelings on the page when they write poetry or they write stories. So, you know, you have this way of healing where you are like more of like an alchemist, and you like you tap into the emotional and the spiritual and the psychological undercurrents, and then you like use those as your palette in a way. So I could actually see you very much being like an actor or a movie director, a screenwriter, someone who's in cinema somehow, or someone who's even on the stage, because it's about the feelings that underpin the narratives in our lives, the stories in our lives. I feel like that is kind of specific, but that's something maybe one of you or a few of you connect to that, because when it comes to this mother and home and potential, I'm definitely feeling like you are offering the world a way to alchemize old narratives, like old memories of the past, traditions, ideas of our heritage. You're actually taking those ideas and those outdated notions and you're alchemizing them. You're transmuting them. So it could be a collective trauma, and you tap into that and you see your role as healing that, because you know how to you create something that transmutes that collective trauma, that collective grief, and transmutes it into something new and beautiful. So yeah, I do feel like you are blooming, perhaps in a creative sense, but even just in a sense of like purpose, like knowing like, oh, this is what I have to offer, this is what I want to offer. You know, dharma, the idea of dharma, doing what you love, and what you love is you're able to do that in your life, like having that joy to do what you love every day, right? So let's keep going. We have the Seven of Cups. The Sun fell from my fingers, so the Sun is very strong here. The Four of Cups. Okay, we have the Moon. Oh wow. And we have the Hanged Man. I'm going to look at what these cards are labeled as in this deck, because they probably have different names. And then we also have the Strength card. I'm going to go ahead and put it here. And we have the Three of Wands. Very cool. So a lot of cups with this Sun, which is again talking about that alchemy. You know, it's like people, when I feel like we can get so bogged down and mired in emotional themes, emotional distress, but you're coming with the Sun card, which is about consciousness and shedding light and speaking to like living in the truth. You're coming up with this Sun, with this, which is this bravery to, particularly the bravery to be yourself, the bravery to put out into the world who you truly are and be your authentic self, and strive and be the best self you can be. You're using that to bring clarity to these emotions that can be muddied. Oh yeah, the mud. So it's like the waters that have been muddied, the muddied waters. You're bringing clarity to that, and you're helping to sort of alchemize that, so that we're now separating the falsehoods from the truth. Okay, so that's what you're doing as an artist or a storyteller, or you know, just a spiritually attuned person in general, or a healer. That's what you're doing. Now we have the Sun and we have the Moon both on the table, which is nice. But I want to see okay, yeah, we have here the Moon, which the theme is also consideration. And then we have here the card for reflection, the theme being surrender. This connects to the Hanged Man. So I love that it falls on the Death card. You have this change. You have a change in perspective, a change in identity, a change in role, a change in growth and healing that comes from surrendering. You know, surrendering to the experience, surrendering to oh yeah, I could see that. So like this Queen of Wands figure could be someone who, maybe a musician, maybe a, you know, someone whose music really motivates you. And now with the moon, it's like it's reaching a part of you and activating a part of your memory that has been kind of trapped. It's like the waters that have been stagnating, and like it's giving flow to that. So again, with that wounded aspect of yourself, now that energy that's been stuck there is able to flow, and that's giving you this, it's helping you to surrender to a new way of seeing yourself, a new way of seeing your identity. Or, you know, when I say identity, right, it's like our identity is so much connected to a narrative that kind of has been framing our lives. You know, this narrative of like, I'm this and I'm meant to do that, and you know, this is usually what stands in my way. You know, we tend to also have a narrative that tells us what's wrong with us, or who doesn't like us, who doesn't approve of us, who's always like trying to get in our way, as well as like the people who, the opposite of that, which is like, you know, these are my people and these are the people, like, you know, who support me. So I feel like you're, you know, all those things are transforming for you, and you're feeling like, again, being taken under a wing, right? Like you're feeling a new, you're around new people, or a new culture where everything you thought you were is kind of laid to rest, and now you're being given a chance to sort of rebuild yourself. But it's not an identity that's contrived. It's an identity that's more rooted in your natural, like your inherent qualities, like a personality and a talent that was not really given much credence or much respect up until now. Okay, so that's really beautiful. So, and you know, I am hearing that for you, some of you, this is a healing path. It is a path to being a healer. So maybe there is like a spiritual person, or a shaman, or a witch, or, you know, like some kind of practitioner who's taken you under their wing and is mentoring you. So that's definitely a possibility here. With the Strength and the Three of Wands now showing up, I'm taken back to that Elephant card. I think overall that message is like the abundance coming your way. Wow, the abundance coming your way. It's definitely about being in a very strong position to take advantage of these new opportunities, and also having this momentum, having support and momentum to go big. With that Strength card, I feel like, I want to clarify this actually. Let's clarify this. What is the Strength card about? Okay, we have the Ten of Cups and we have the Devil card. Oh, and the Knight of Swords. That is very interesting. I think the Strength card is kind of like feeling like you have a backbone. And I don't mean this, I know that sounds like an insult, but like, you know, finally. But it is the sense of like, oh, I know my true power. I'm ready to defend. I can defend myself because I know where I stand on this. And I think that, you know, you might be coming from a family or a culture where everyone was supposed to get along. Everyone was supposed to be a little too tolerant of each other. And it's like toxic, what is that term? Toxic positivity. Spiritual bypassing. That's another word, right? That's another phrase people use. So you are drawing the line on this. You're actually like, where you stand right now is that you really don't want that. And again, the muddying the waters, right? This is where you're coming from. You're coming from a situation in which the waters were muddied. The way that people kind of expressed or downplayed or dismissed feelings and spiritual truths, the way that people only were quite hedonistic, only kind of focused on, you know, instant gratification and keeping everyone kind of in a complacent sort of docile, like let me placate you with more money, more food, more you know, more sensory pleasures, right? It's like you feel like you are done with that now. And you know, and that is interesting because that is also what is strengthening you more here as the King of Cups. Interesting. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, what I'm seeing with abundance coming your way is this abundance of being, yeah, this abundance of I feel like the word training is the closest I can get to it, but it's this abundance of the support. Yeah, it's abundance of support. It's abundance of support. And what that support looks like could be a number of things, but it's very much connected to the emotional support you need to do the work that you're doing, and you're doing great work. This is very meaningful, it's very powerful. And so this is now the emotional support, the community, which may be a new community, but it's a community that's finally giving you the emotional support for what you're doing. You didn't have that in the past, and you had to really like trust your gut, trust your intuition, follow your truth through a lot of muddying waters, you know, through a lot of kind of toxically positive situations where people are just downplaying the pain of others, and you know, just kind of hedonistically putting this focus on, you know, instant gratifications, and you know, maybe even addiction, like addictive behaviors, compulsive behaviors. So it's like you're coming out of these muddied waters, and now you feel good because you're succeeding in a way that you really manifested for yourself. Like you followed this path and you believed in yourself, and now you're succeeding. You're seeing like the signs of success in the external world. But in addition to that, this abundance comes with the emotional support. It comes with like a mentor or a guide, a guru who, you know, is taking you under their wing, and who like you feel is very much attuned to you, and it actually understands you and what you've gone through. So that's the emotional support that's coming your way. Okay, so I do see abundance, and I see like this kind of more conventional success, whether it's promotion or, you know, getting a grant, getting funding, getting money. But I feel like the abundance is really talking about the emotional support, that support that comes with, wow, someone believes in me, someone believes in what I can do, and I can go the distance now because I have this, you know, community, or I have this institution backing me. Okay, so pile one, that's your message. Wow, what a great message, what a great outcome here, and I wish you the very best. I send you lots of love and good luck for what you're working on here. Okay, take care, pile one. Hello, pile two, welcome to your reading. You selected the card number 43, Celebrate the Little Things. And there's a very cute little mouse with a cupcake here. So if you celebrated a birthday recently, maybe that's why you're drawn to this card. But overall, the message I'm getting so far is, you know, definitely when it comes to your abundance and appreciating the abundance in your life, the little things, there's a clue in here about the little things. So certainly it could be the little things in life and the simple pleasures, but I also think there's a message here about something in your life that you have not really given a lot of thought to because you sort of dismissed it, or overlooked it in a way, and you're going to be surprised that it's actually going to be a source of abundance for you. So let's go ahead and get started. We're asking, what is the abundance? What are the signs of abundance What's the advice for abundance? The abundance coming pile two's way. So we have an oracle card here. Okay, I'm going to cut this deck and get 2 cards. And let's go ahead and just cut this deck. Get 3 cards. Okay, that's a good start for now. So we have the oracle card Wave. Very cool. For tarot cards, we have the 5 of Cups here. And 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Cups now. The Knight of Pentacles, also known as the Prince of Pentacles. The Moon, okay. Definitely very watery energy so far. The 6 of Wands. And the Page of Cups, wow. So, pile 1, I feel like the first message here is this fact that you have done, you've actually done a lot of internal work to move on from something here, and it was it was quite difficult at times, and you really needed to apply yourself. It was quite a challenge for you, but look at the 6 of Wands here. You've succeeded in moving on from something, like, you know, letting go of an emotional attachment, or you know, something you were really attached to, maybe a relationship, though I'm not getting a strong feeling about it being a relationship. I feel like it was, you know, something that wasn't serving you. So it could have been a habit. It could have been like, you know, a compulsion, you know, something maybe even like being on social media all the time and, you know, being really swept up in it, and then realizing, okay, this actually isn't good for my health, or it's not good for my emotional health, so I'm going to take a step back from it. Okay, it could be something like that. But to celebrate the little things, it's like going back to a good feeling of being grounded, having, you know, more stability and peace in yourself and in your day-to-day. And with the Page of Cups here, I do feel like there is abundance coming your way in the form of a creative project or something very expressive for you, some way to express your true feelings and to let those feelings like just be very honest and sincere. So this could be a relationship just beginning. This could be like someone offering you their cup and you know, being very sweet and tender with you, even maybe having a crush on you. It could be that. But it also could be just you having this newfound inspiration and wanting to express something in a very sincere and vulnerable way, and feeling like, you know, feeling encouraged and inspired to do that. Now, this is a lot of you know, what I've described is a lot about your internal world and what's going on emotionally, at least recently. But with the Knight of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, there's also a very clear path here in your life. I think you've been aware of it for a while. I don't think it's really something new to you, but I think maybe you have had to kind of neglect it for a while. I think there's been a goal that you've had to neglect for a while, and now you're feeling the strength to go back to it. And this does have to relate to something more material, like it could relate to a job that brings in income. It could also relate to just your health, like a health issue that has needed to be addressed, or needed a change in habits, a change in lifestyle. Yeah, so you know what, let's just keep going, and let me try to understand the details of that better. So let's talk about the Eight of Pentacles here, please. Can you clarify for pile 2? What is the Eight of Pentacles about? We have the Four of Cups. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's definitely something that has had a certain emotional power on you. Like you know, so back to social media. You know how social media can really convince us and persuade us of a reality that is just, you know, fantasy. It's actually fantasy, it's contrived, it's not real, but yet we get swept up in it, you know, and we get we almost feel like the people we're following on social media are real people that are in our lives. You know, we get attached to that. So I think you've had an attachment to either a person or an entity, or again, like a habit, a desire, and you have finally, it's finally lost its appeal for you. It's like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know, and you've finally been distancing yourself from it, and it just doesn't give you the same rush or excitement that it did before. And as a result of that, I actually see here that you're able to save more money. Okay, so this is kind of specific. I'm getting a message about someone who has had like a problem with spending money on a hobby or a brand, like something, you know, just being kind of obsessed with something, and like you spend all this money on it and it's been hurting your wallet clearly, but you've had trouble to just take a step back. Except now you're finally able to be like, you know what, the time is done. Like, I've spent enough money on that hobby, or I've spent enough money, I don't know, on that celebrity, you know, like, on that celebrity's merchandise. Like, I don't know, but it's like you're finally getting back to reality, you know, and you know what it did it for you is really just looking at your goals and realizing like, okay, I have not been able to save up money for that trip, or I haven't been able to, you know, get any, you know, my paycheck is just like going to this credit card debt because of that purchase. So, you know, you're finally able to reel it back. And this Nine of Pentacles is great. This is showing abundance, right? This is showing wish fulfillment, or just like fulfillment, and, you know, achieving something because you applied yourself and used your talents and strengths to achieve that goal. So let's clarify this Knight of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Swords. Abundance. What is the abundance in pile 2's life? Wow, we have the High Priestess. The Ten of Swords and the High Priestess right here on the moon. Yeah, this is about finally hearing your inner voice, finally hearing it's like you've been guided by your own inner wisdom. So, you know, something in the outside world or something outside of you has really swept you up, but also kind of played on your emotions. And the Ten of Swords, that's the breaking point. That's just like, you know, really reaching, it's like feeling like, you know, this has just gone too far. Like there's no way to bring this back. Like, it's like being disillusioned with something, and like now you realize there's no way this is gonna come back from the brink, because you've been so affected by it. You know, it's like painful. It's painful, whatever stress or emotional distress has occurred because of this. Wow, Five of Cups again. Yeah, grieving. Just, you've been having to grieve what happened here. The Queen of Swords and the High Priestess again. Wow, this is a very this is emphatic, right? So that High Priestess is showing up again, and now with the Queen of Swords. It is definitely really necessary here to discern what you're being told, and to actually take a step back from how you feel. See, it's difficult to analyze your feelings when you're in the middle of feeling upset, right? Like when we're upset, like we don't want to do anything rational, really, right? And you know, and yet I do think maybe there is an abundance here in the form of an advisor, a counselor, someone who's coming into your life and actually helping you to piece together the broken pieces of your perspective. It's almost like, oh, you know what, this is very specific. Someone could be here who's watching now, who's you know, had a very painful past, maybe even in relation to like someone very close to you or a family member, or just like your childhood, like memories of the past, something from the past that was traumatic. And then now, like, and then you're realizing, you know, it was really hard to get ahead in your life because this like codependent relationship with someone or a group of people, but like just you know, your feelings were being kind of controlled. Someone was manipulating you and, like, you know, trying to make you feel guilty, or you know, you felt very guilty, like no one was doing it to you, but you just felt very guilty about the past. And so you kind of sacrifice, you know, your goals in order to try to not feel guilty anymore, make up for what this guilt was about in the past. But now there's someone, there's either an individual or you yourself are showing up in this new way with the Queen of Swords to really understand how your feelings are valid, but your feelings can also be kind of heightened to the point of not being helpful for you. It's like someone helping you to compartmentalize your feelings and actually understand, where did that feeling come from, what is triggering the feeling, because I can't go through life triggered every day, right? So it's like they're helping you to understand the root cause of the emotional kind of roller coaster. And so this could be a therapist, this could be a professional, this could be just an advisor, or it could be a teacher, or just someone you really respect that they have knowledge, like as a knowledgeable person who has knowledge that they're sharing with you, right? But the High Priestess here showing up twice goes to show it. This is important because it's showing that, you know, you've kind of didn't trust your intuition for a long time, and you sort of pushed it down, like that inner voice that was showing you a different way or talking to you about a different way. You kind of pushed it down, but now it's coming back, and it's coming back in full force, and it's helping you finally get out of, like, put this end point here. It was like, no more, this is not going to be the case anymore. I'm moving on, or I'm pivoting in this different direction. So you're getting more grounded, and your goals, the goals that you've had in the past that you never really gained traction, it's finally going to gain traction because of this work, you know, this inner work, this therapy work, or this you know, this learning. It's like specialized learning. It can even be like learning about psychology, or learning about family dynamics, learning about codependency, learning about addiction, learning about consumerism, like learning about advertising. Like it's some kind of specialized topic that you're finally learning and understanding, and how it's been a source of suffering in your life, and now you're able to see through it so that you can detach yourself from it and really escape it, right? So, or liberate yourself from it, right? So yeah, that's where your abundance is coming from. It's in this Queen of Swords energy that is taking on, you know, new information, absorbing new information, gathering new information, and you're not afraid to learn how the inner workings of what's going on here, okay? So pile 2, yeah, I think it's quite straightforward message today. We have void. Wow. So void, wave, the moon. It's almost like being able to release now. I mean, not almost. It is finally being at a place where you're able to release either guilt or shame or remorse, but you're finally able to release something that has dogged you up until now. Drifting, yeah. So again, the sense of being detached from it, it's like not having this force, this you know, either it's emotional or it's relationship oriented, but it's like not feeling like something isn't just, you know, steering you in these directions that are out of your control. With drifting, to me, this is a very positive card to see right now, because the drifting is like being released, and it's like you're settling down into your own inner the inner locus of control, like you're starting to realize, like, this little boat that I'm in, you know, this body, this psyche, like this is what is under my control, under my purview, and I want to steer it in a direction that is actually true to me. So, you know, this is, in order to get to that point, you do have to drift a bit. You have to like let these things settle a bit and kind of process all that you're learning, right? It's like about processing what you're learning here. Wow, yeah, that's heavy. So pile 2, I'm going to just pull a card for advice now, how to move forward, or how to move towards abundance, how to, you know, you're back on track is what I'm seeing. You're back on track towards getting more abundance in your life, doing the work, doing the it's like getting the traction back, feeling like things are finally moving forward, because you're more capable than you've ever been to achieve the goals you've had in terms of abundance, right? To achieve the financial goals or the health goals, material goals that you've had in the past. Now you have more traction to achieve that. So what is the advice for pile 2? Celebrate the little things, right? Celebrate the little steps. Celebrate the little steps of achievement that you've had, you know, because it's having appreciation for those little steps that gives you the encouragement and the motivation to keep going, right? To stick to it. Divine Masculine. Wow, yes. That's very cool. So we have the High Priestess showing up twice, and now we have the Divine Masculine. So this is also talking about integration. I think that you've been gifted, you've been receiving a lot of information, and you've been in this receptive mode of processing the information and learning new things and learning a new perspective, you know, a new system, a new school of thought. You've been doing a lot of that learning. And with the Divine Masculine showing up, this is about now being empowered by that information and having choice. So like using your power of choice. So the Divine Masculine is pointing to taking action or creating a strategy and acting on that strategy, acting on that plan. The Divine Masculine is talking about seeing your life as your own creation, and how are you going to put the pieces together. You know, everything you received in life, these are like your building blocks. How are you going to put these pieces together and build up the life that you want? Okay, let me look at the guidebook from the Untamed Elemental. Very cool. Oh, very cool. So, to bring the Divine Masculine into balance, we must remove distractions and become fully present in the moment. Do only one thing at a time. Wow, that's interesting. So this is, again, celebrate the little things, removing those distractions, right? So that the distractions, the wave, right? The whatever you were consuming or receiving that was just keeping you confused and feeling overwhelmed with feelings, and you know, just sort of lost in a drift even, right? Now you're seeing the cause of the drifting, and you're coming back to your senses about where you are in your life, getting more grounded with where you are in your life, and where you are in your goals, and what you're trying to achieve. So now's the time to remove those distractions and become fully present in the moment. Do only one thing at a time. Divine Masculine indicates that your full presence is required. By simply aligning your unfractured consciousness with the moment, you supply healing, balancing truths, and conjure new possibilities and outcomes. It is much easier to receive a message from your inner Divine Masculine wisdom when you anchor your full presence within each moment. Practice this and you will soon discover a secret. You are a painter of galaxies and legend of the real. Yeah, see, this is tapping into that creative force again. And the creative force comes with that focus on the present. Okay, it comes with being fully present. All the confusion and the feelings that would make you look at the past and were constantly sweeping you up in what happened in the past, or the memories, or the projections of the future. You know, it's like you if you're finding yourself drifting thoughts to the past or drifting thoughts to the future, remind yourself to be rooted back in the present. And it's in the present that you will identify the most important thing to do right now. Okay, it helps you identify what are your priorities right now, what needs to get done right now. That needs to be the most important thing to you. Moment to moment is just tuning into that present moment, and taking that decisive action. I'm going to do what needs to be done now. Okay, that's also Queen of Swords energy. Very clear thinking, clarity, okay? Clarity and decisiveness. No distractions, right? Okay, pile 2, that's your message today. I wish you the best of luck with everything you're working on. And thank you so much for being here. If this was helpful to you, please click the like and subscribe buttons, or feel free to comment, okay? I love to hear from you. Take care. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You selected the card Protect Your Boundaries, and we are going to talk today about abundance. What's the abundance coming your way? What are the signs to look out for? What is the advice to receive this abundance? Okay, so you selected this card with a very cute little bird. And it's interesting to have the phrase protect your boundaries here, but I think what we're seeing is that, you know, this bird is like a very sensitive, vulnerable creature, a little creature in its own way, and so having good boundaries helps you to protect your full sense of self, because it's like, to have that boundary, the more tender sides of your personality, your psyche, it's given that space to breathe, to just be, right? So boundaries allows you to be as authentic as you can be, okay, with that, because you don't have to worry so much about just getting harmed, getting harmed by other people's judgment, or Um, even just the, you know, the kind of the chaotic aspect of today's world, like when we pay attention to every single news feed and stuff, it's like it's good to protect your boundaries on that level too, because you're more careful with the information you receive and the energy that you're having to receive and process. Okay, so protect your boundaries. Always good advice. This is about abundance, right? Okay, this moon card just popped up in pile 2. I'm gonna take that. This is about abundance. Oh wow, and strength. Yeah, this is an affirmation that you've actually been able to protect your boundaries. Yep, we have the King of Cups. Particularly in the realm of relationships, we have the Queen of Swords. Interesting. So I do feel like in terms of abundance, there is a talent, a skill you have that is very developed, and you are cultivating really meaningful and powerful relationships with people as a result of it. So maybe you're teaching or maybe you're healing, but it's like your strength is very visible right now. Your strength, your unique strengths are bringing positive developments in your life, okay? So let's keep going. What is the abundance in pile 3's life? What is the abundance coming towards them? Let's go ahead and cut this deck. Take 2 cards. And this deck. Take 2 cards. Yes. And this deck. Okay, we're gonna get into it. We have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, community, friendship, feeling like you belong. And then we have the card for the Hanged Man, which in this deck I believe is called Release. I'm going to take another look at that. And we also have the 3 of Wands. Wow, we have 2 3s here. We also have, I'm going to scooch this over. We also have the 7 of Swords and the King of Cups again. Wow. Amazing. We have the 6 of Cups. I'm going to put this here. And the 2 of Pentacles. And the 2 of Pentacles. Again, right after the last. So right side by side, the 2 of Pentacles. Very big emphasis here. And now the 10 of Wands is falling on the King of Cups, okay? So, let's see. This is the card. Oh, wait. I did not. Yes. I don't know how to read Roman numerals. The 7th card for 17. Okay. That is not the Hangman. That is the Judgment. No. That's the Star card. Okay. The Star card. Yeah. Healing. Okay. I rise from the healing waters, return to the living wheel of the world, and reach for joy. So, yes, your abundance is coming about because I believe you've helped others protect your boundaries. I believe you are a healer, and you have offered immense healing for other people. and it's coming back around to you now. You know, there's a lot of recognition and appreciation for what you do, and it's giving you the excitement and the motivation to expand what you're doing. So I do think abundance to you is going to come in the form of an expansion, like scaling up your line of work or taking on new clients. So if that's been on your mind, if that's something you've been considering, this is a sign that, you know, you definitely should go in that direction. That's the advice. With Seven of Swords and the King of Cups here, I'm seeing kind of a similar thing here, where this is someone with a specialized healing profession. Even, you know, it could be any form of healing. So it could be medicine and conventional healing, but it could also be an arts practice, a therapy practice. It could even be, you know, creating tonics, right? Sometimes the King of Cups, I see it as a person who makes spirits or liquor and alcohol, and you know, doing this in a way that's very creative and ingenious. You know, could be a bartender. Like, this is there, this King of Cups I see in a number of ways, but the fact that there's a Seven of Swords right next to it, I feel like you know, you're seeing opportunities come towards you, and you just don't want to get invested in anything that is going to drain you. That's what I'm feeling here, is that you want to be careful about draining your resources and draining your inner resources, because you want to make sure that whatever you have to offer, it never gets diluted and it never gets compromised. Okay, so definitely advice for you in terms of going after abundance. Be cautious about any new opportunity that may be unsustainable, okay? Because you have a very special gift, and that means you have very special needs in order to use that gift, in order to fully use that gift in a way that's sustainable. You're gonna have to, again, protect your boundaries, right? You're gonna have to really assert your unique, special needs about that, surrounding that gift. Okay, so yeah, Ten of Wands again. There it is, burnout, right? You don't want to get burnout. Counseling, maybe you're a counselor, in a big like school system, you know, like a counselor in a big operation, like, so you want to definitely be careful about burnout. And with the Queen of Swords, I do feel like this energy is supportive. So, you know, this could be about the counselor needing a counselor. You need a confidant, you need someone that you can speak to, you know, with no filter, and they've got such a strong backbone, and they're so wise, and they're so smart and intelligent, that like, it's almost like they can call you out on your own ish, you know what I mean? Like, they can call you out, and they can like give you feedback that you really respect. Okay, so that might be something. Maybe you're an artist, and there's a person in your life who gives you very helpful, critical feedback. But pile 3, you know, you've got the Two of Pentacles twice, and then you have the 2 3s. You also have this Six of Cups right next to this Moon card. So, yeah, you know what? Let me keep these cards here. Sorry. There's something here. Something here about organizing, systematizing. Yeah, abundance is going to come about because you're being more systematic in doing your line of work, or doing your healing work, or, you know, doing your creative work. Like, whatever you're doing to become more systematic helps you assert these healthy boundaries, and it helps you prevent burnout, and it helps you scale up in a way without preventing burnout. It helps you deliver your product or your service to, you know, either more clients or clients with more specialized needs, but that's definitely important here, is becoming more systematic. It might even be that you need to delegate to an extent. So the more that you record, your methodology is going to be important. Like writing down your philosophy, writing down your principles or your approach, your unique approach. That's also key, because that makes the information more easily shareable to the person who can help you in the future or in the now. But like, I do feel like there's someone who really wants to help you, but it's more like, help me help you. You know, they're kind of coming to you like, help me help you. Like, they need to understand you better, okay? So, or at least to understand your line of work better. Yeah, so I want to talk about the Two of Pentacles, because, you know, showing up twice, that's a very big message here. And it showed up right after the Six of Cups. So with the Two of Pentacles, sometimes it can mean like being on the fence and being non-committal. It can mean like having a choice, but, you know, kind of still juggling those two options, and yeah, again, not really like committing yet. I feel like the Two of Pentacles is this advice. It is advice for you to not be just to actually be a little bit more experimental in some respect. So remember when I said be more systematic, systematize something. Maybe you're already experimenting something. Be very systematic in that experimentation. You know, take really good notes. Have a series of steps that you articulate, and then when you try out this experiment, like try to be, you know, try to stick to this like structure, so that when you evaluate the results, you really are comparing apples to apples. Because it's very easy to do things kind of ad hoc, and then when you try to like learn from it, you end up comparing apples to oranges. Like, that's not helpful, right? You want to get things as uniform as possible, so that the actual experimental kind of variable gets analyzed correctly. Okay, now that could be quite specific, but let's say you are in the medical profession. You might be a medical researcher. You might be someone who's actually researching a new medicine or a new form of healing. So if that is what you're doing, right, if that's resonating for you, then this experimentation is just an affirmation that what you're doing is very important, and you know, keep up the good work, and don't get too bogged down in details. Don't get too bogged down in like, you know, all the ideas percolating to the surface, right? This is about staying on track too, because with the Two of Pentacles, if there's an imbalance of that energy and there's too much of that in your energy, it means that you might be overextended. So, you know, having priorities and really being careful about what you commit to, you also have to be aware of that. Have you committed to too much, and now you're going to have to drop the ball on something? That's totally possible. So yeah, that could be specific to just a couple of people here, but that's definitely a message coming through. I also see the Six of Cups here, right? So the Six of Cups shows to me that there is something that kind of rose-tinted glasses. There's something that you're sort of seeing a little bit too idealistically. So again, that Queen of Swords energy is really helpful here, because you may have a very high ideal or a very specific idea of perfection. Don't be too perfectionistic either, right? Like, it's good to be systematic, and it's good to you know, be very thoughtful, but when we're perfectionistic, it means nothing's actually getting done, because we're just stuck in you know, we're afraid to get we're afraid to get messy too. So yeah, I feel like there's advice here for keeping these things in balance. But yeah, I don't want to pull too many cards, because I think that I just shared like several messages that could be applied to a bunch of you. So I wanted to leave it at that. But to summarize, I think this message is for someone who is either a healer, like, you know, in a line of medicine, or therapy or counseling, or even someone who is very creative with what they're doing and very artistic and very sincere with what they're doing. So, you know, maybe you're even creating wine, right? Like, but you do it in a way that's very creative, and you have a lot of personal investment, and, you know, if it's like a very expressive product. It's a product that really expresses who you are, okay? So maybe you make wine, right, as an example. But the point is, I'm getting the King of Cups for you. And in terms of abundance, you know, you've achieved a whole lot up until this point, and you're actually getting recognition. You know what? I see the moon now as being that collective. I see that now. You're getting recognition in the collective. Even like, yeah, definitely getting a word of mouth is going out there. It's like more people are knowing and learning about what you do. So abundance for you is about identifying the opportunities coming your way, because there will definitely be opportunities, but being discerning about the opportunities that really resonate with you and really help you achieve what you want to achieve. And also pursuing those opportunities in a way that prevents burnout and doesn't compromise the quality of what you do. So whatever tools, whatever systems you can put in place to maintain the quality of what you do, that's very important. It's possible that you've actually overcommitted yourself to a number of projects. So also, in order to maintain that quality of what you do, you may need to drop the ball on something or a couple of things, because I think you're kind of juggling too much right now. And maybe it's these experimentations, right? Maybe you've sort of like taken on these new projects or these new ideas, and you're kind of experimenting with them. I'm not saying don't do that, but just prioritize what you do. Examine what you're doing and be very realistic in terms of what's really important right now and what do you actually have the bandwidth for, what do you have the resources for. Because you could always just put on a back burner and get to it when you're in a better position. But yeah, protect your boundaries is definitely a good overall message here, because you want to protect your success up until this point. You don't want to lose any opportunities, or rather you don't want to lose ground. You know, you've gained good ground here, and you want to protect that ground, protect what you've achieved. So yeah, that's what abundance is looking like right now for you, and what's coming your way. So thank you, Pile 3, for being here. If this helped you, please click the like button, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, definitely do that so you can get notified of new readings. And yeah, thanks so much, Pile 3. Take care.